Welcome everyone to another exciting, well, games as yesterday as well. I don't know where I was going with that initially here. We have the same casters as before. Go ahead and remind the folks who you are, and then we will hop in to picks and band.
Hey, my name's Fifi. I'm just gonna be casting, doing a little draft analyzing later on, some and post game interviews and stuff. So should be fun.
Yeah, Slew here. Just excited to get into more League of Legends tonight. Excited to see if we get the crazy amount of trade kills that we were having the end of the day yesterday. And I just want to point out, Gitano has failed two intros in a row,
It's
or
great.
three intros in a row.
I'm gonna get banned here pretty soon. My
It's
honorable
fine.
ranking is down to one. Way to go.
It's fine.
Oh, look at
But
this
hey,
strategy. The Kaisa banned, and then the first pick Jinx away. Or no,
they're
they picked
they're
Ashe on the
cooking.
other side. Because they would have had first pick on blue side. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
interesting. They didn't go for the Jinx, which was open.
Yeah, especially with the blue side, you see that hyper carry. They usually grab that or Kaylee, something right away. That's the prio pick with Ash Lux, though. That's not a lane that you see that often.
No, it is a strong lane. I'm just surprised because he's so good on the Jinx. It plays the Jinx Kaisa a lot, and
Leaves it up
opting
there.
away from it and going for the Ashe
I'm
early is a little surprising.
I'm not surprised by the Viego pick here though at all. I think it goes really well with Lux and Ash because basically if you're playing Viego in a comp, you just want to kind of burst one person down and the resets start happening, and then he kind of snowballs in a team fight after just one reset. So, and Lux and Ash are really good at either catching someone out or one Lux route and it could be over. So.
Yeah, and speaking of catch, Blitzcrank picked on the other side of things, keeping it interesting here. So should be interesting to see if Blitz is able to hit some good hooks this game. It's always kind of one of those characters who can have a lot of impact on the game. You're either feeding or you're popping off. So excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, I
Not
want to touch on the bans just for a second here. As we see the Veigar banned out last time, I don't know what the stack count was, but that was getting a little crazy. For the stacking there. York and Twitch as well as another hyper carry going out. On the other side, I know you mentioned the Kaisa getting banned and the Jinx not picking up. That's the two for the AD carry, but you could always have the pocket picks and trying to maybe demoralize and say, hey, go ahead and play it and we'll try it. Darius can run the rampage and brand that just giant flex pick.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
they missed this pick right here. I think this is supposed to be Fizz, is what the
That
chat said.
ban.
The
Yeah,
ban next
yeah.
board,
That
guys. Yep.
the Merc Fox one is a Fizz ban, which is curious because that guy has still has his Galio up, which is something that he will just kind of play if it's left open. Like I'd
Well,
be shocked if this isn't picked
and
here.
Murk took a lot of care yesterday to ban out the globals. They banned TF and Nocturne in that first game, and then they banned TF again in the second game. So it's weird to see them leave up another, a very common global character that they do play. But maybe they've got a strategy against it here.
Also, blinding Aatrox, which is it's not a bad blind at all. Don't get me wrong, but this is a Kraken have a good top laner, a good. He has a really good counter pick lane. He's a more of a red side top carry kind of guy. Plays all the bruisers, so it's kind of interesting to see that they wouldn't give last pick the top here on Merc Fox to try
I
to.
guess they really wanted that last pick mid.
Yeah, it won't get punished too hard though. It's just the Orn, so they're kind of just filling his
This is a
basically just
Karthus mid.
It looks
it's
like it.
looking like it. Yeah.
Uh, Don't see that every day. Karthus hasn't really been a mid laner. Oh, okay.
It's Galio. Okay.
Karthus
The
is
Karthus is
Galio. That makes
Galio.
sense based
Just
on
a
the
little bit
Yeah.
of
analysis too. I
cosplaying,
was like, huh,
All
Karthus
right.
pick is a little weird here.
And then last pick Morgana mid.
Yeah. He's
Is
Yep.
gonna be able
this
to shove the Galio in at least. At
I
least
think
Morgana, because Galio can force people under tower and then go for the roam. Morgana shouldn't be in that problem.
right. I I don't. I don't really love Murk Fox's comp, I'll be honest, but
Yeah.
I don't really love Krakens necessarily either. If they don't get ahead early, this comp just kind of falls apart. But it's pretty relatively easy to execute. You know, you're just kind of looking for picks in the side lane with Galio and Ashar and Lux, and you have really good engage with the Ornn. It's solid front line.
I actually
Uh,
don't hate this comp at all. The Viego is going to be able to go in pretty confidently, knowing he can have Galio alt on his back. Ash Lux is a lot of pick potential, or in a big frontline character. I think that it can work. I'm not.
yeah,
I'll take their comp over Merc Fox's comp every day.
it's just less funky for sure. The
Mm-hmm.
Merc one doesn't really have like you have a Jinx, you have an Ivern and a Morgana, but your front line's not the best, right? Like you have this Ornn, you have this Galio. That how are you gonna get through this unless this Jinx is
Mm-hmm.
up to like 4 items? You know, like it's
Yeah,
gonna have to be a turbo fed Jinx.
and I'm not a big fan. Ivern I like in comps where you're. If it was Ivern on the other side, replacing the Viego, I would like that a lot. You know, you're able to kind of half commit to fights, use Daisy to try to get a stun and lock up, but you don't have a real front line. Aatrox wants to hard commit. Ivern doesn't really want to hard commit. It's kind of a little awkward.
Yeah, we have the 3 minute delay going on right now, so yeah. So we'll keep talking about these comps, but it really just puts a lot of pressure on Jinx here. I mean, Aatrox should have a pretty good time against Ornn to kind of free scale. Like you're not really, unless you're really playing this lane terribly, you can kind of get to like your safe level 9, get your first item and a half, and then kind of join your team. And he's pretty strong at that point in the game, 15, 20 minutes in, as long as he's farmed okay.
Yeah, but on the other side of things, Morgana, not typically a character you think of as like a hyper scaler. Either is Galio, but I think the reason you pick Morgana is typically to have side lane pressure, to be able to shove your lane in, to be able to have the ease of lane. But I'm a little worried because Galio can just follow with ult if Morgana goes for a gank, and it can get turned really easily. I'm worried
Mhm.
that Morgana is going to have limited impact, not quite the impactful last pick I was hoping for.
Exactly. And it kind of comes full circle onto, why not give this to your top laner here? But here we are.
Though
I
maybe
don't
you
know.
would have picked Aatrox into Ornn anyway. It's definitely not a bad matchup.
True. No, I think it's pretty much I don't think as long as Ornn's playing respectfully and building, bramble tabs like you would
Mm-hmm.
in lane even, you don't even have to back for those items because it's Ornn. But
Yep.
yeah, he's pretty safe. I think Aatrox is pretty safe too, unless there's some dive potential perhaps, but
Yeah, I
that's
think
again,
early levels are the problem, right? You
mhm.
can end up in an awkward situation early levels, but it's not very likely here as long as they're both play respectful. I don't think there's going to be a lot of like kills coming from the top lane.
Yeah. And Gabe's more of a bruiser type of player, so I don't really know how aggressive and stuff he's going to be on this Ornn. So we'll see how aggressive he wants to be. See if he can get a solo kill or something on this Aatrox before he hits those spikes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think the bot lane could get spicy though. It kind of just really depends on it's Blitzcrank hitting this hook, and then do they have enough damage to even kill that person if he hits the hook type of
Um,
thing.
I mean, if there's no Galio ult coming, Lux or Ash probably die from being hooked, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Jinx does a lot of damage. Blitzcrank has a decent amount of burst if he's hitting that hook. So I think that's where I would like to see Murk play towards, just because I don't see another like good avenue for them to take control of the game other than playing through bot lane here.
Mhm. Leave that Trox kind of on an island, maybe pull that Ornn away to help, soften this front line. If you attack Galio in his lane, he won't be able to use it outside of lane. So that's also something to think about as well. Um,
Yep. Usually the strategy is fight into the global, right?
yep,
Fight in his lane so he cannot use it to join the fight.
I agree. Katana, you got anything before we
I'm just
load into this?
I'm just more worried if the Blitzcrank does start popping off. There's just a mass amount of CC, and if you do have a prio pick, I know you guys touched about this just a little bit. If Ash gets picked, Lux, or even Viego for that matter. I mean, the Morgana binds right there. You got Aatrox as well, that can pop them up. And as long as the Jinx does a good job of that early game, staying healthy, into that mid to late game, it could be a big feast for them. But Ash Arrow picks the Ornn on top of it. They do have a great wombo combo, and the Galio being able to follow up too also is a giant factor.
I think we're gonna take about maybe a 30-second or so intermission right before this starts. So we'll see you then.
Welcome back as we get into game one here, and we'll see where our predictions will land and who might fall flat on their face. We'll see if the standard 5-point start does come out, or if they're going to do something tricky since they do have blitz. Whenever you see that on, the pick phase, you just
Welcome to
got to be wary.
Summoner's Rift.
That's an easy first blood that could be going over.
Do we lock in any predictions here?
I don't think we did. You guys
30
voiced
seconds until
pretty much a whole
spawn.
bunch of
Katana,
Oh,
what's
you
your
guys better,
oh?
you guys better get your predictions in quick
Yeah.
because it's the first
Red
pick
team,
for
red team,
Mark.
red team.
Wow, onto the
Four
Jinx
is a
too.
Jinx as well. Yeah, that was the one thing you probably didn't want to have happen here is just that bot lane getting fed. Or not fed, but I mean just a single kill early here. We'll see. I
No sums used
not back
either.
either before for the buy, so gonna start the
Minions
lane
have
off even.
spawned.
Katana, what do you got? Who do you have in this match? We didn't hear any of your thoughts on which comp you really liked better here.
I'm gonna go for the dark horse of the Murk Fox. I'm really hoping to see the Blitz Crank pull out, and then I'm hoping for the Morgana ults just to disrupt and really cause havoc here in the mid fight. So, if Aatrox can start to really pop off too, it's just a horrible bruiser top to deal with, and he's gonna run a rampage. But that's gonna be mine. I'm gonna put mine for Merc.
Beefy, who do you got?
I'm thinking Kraken. I think their comps just works better together.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think blue side Kraken, they have the advantage in this game, even with that first blood going over. Oh, Blitzcrank really causing some problems here. He's getting 3 people to chase him, though.
Yeah, has to
He
flash
has
over
flash.
there. Lux also flashed over for it. Has the E. There's no bind yet. Level 2 though for Viego, so definitely gonna be the kill going down there. Gonna get reset and cosplay as Blitz just for a hot second, but he did pull quite a bit of aggro there, but it doesn't matter too much as Jinx is looking really low. Has to flash and cleanse away. It's gonna escape.
I think I liked the plan from Blitzcrank until he hooked the Viego. I actually think he could have just kept running, and if they keep chasing him, they're losing a lot in that lane. I mean, Viego lost a lot of time on his jungle there, and Jinx was free farming until Jinx came over to try to help. I think they lost a lot for that.
Yeah, we see the jungle difference. Not a lot, but in the beginning it does make a little bit of difference as well as Morgana up, 5 for CS, but that could also be lane phase pressure as well. But those early levels do mean a lot, especially if you're getting the procs, becoming aggressive, and then, 200 health can make all the difference.
Well, and if you're looking at like an early game top, all of a sudden the other laner cannot, or the other jungler cannot respond to what you're doing because they're just too low level, they can't join the fight. Can make a big difference, but I don't think it's going to matter here.
Yeah, Ivory towards that top side, hovering just to see if there's anything he can do with Ornn. Is spotted out and is going to make his way down.
I'm actually surprised that the CS total's pretty even. I guess the wave's crashing, but
The way it's
that
yeah.
still, yeah, that's wasn't really punished for.
Ooh,
Oh, good hook.
Frank grabbing the pole. Unfortunately,
Oh,
could have missed
Ah,
a little bit on the Jinx.
that's-
A little late on the trap. The trap with the
yeah,
Jinx is going to be massive here towards that. I'd say mid-game. Blitz get a great pull. You land the traps right in front of it, and now you have to walk around or take a bad fight. Speaking of bad fights, top side here.
oh,
Ugh, yeah.
that could be another kill with
Ivern.
Ivern Q, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe the Jinx has not played the matchup very well. Blitz is kind of one of those characters where you got to play it with all the characters a little bit. It changes just a little bit depending on who you're playing. She went for the slow first when really the traps come out first, and you just get the kill because of the traps. You have to walk all the way around, and if they do, now you have an easy slow hit, and you can predict where they're going a lot better.
Yeah, Jinx now 2-0, grabbing up a kill as well as we look towards that top side action. Morgana, running out of mana, but just back and forth with the Galio here. Not too much of a difference there. Both of them sporting teleport, so I'm guessing they'll come back, rejoin lane, and do it all over again here. We do have Blitz
Got
and
a lot
Ivory
of
pinching
pressure
for mid.
mid.
Not a lot of mana either.
Three-man mid.
So great pop-up pull all the way back. Morgana Bind's gonna land. Is there enough damage? They leave it, but the tower damage there, I think that would have been be more safe than sorry and get the kill officially here, but kind of a quote-unquote one-for-one there in the mid lane.
Yeah, Ivern, I think he must have thought he was dead because he walks away a little early there. And it really cost Murk a lot because they put a lot of resources into making that play happen just to trade 1-for-1. Kraken will be happy with that.
For sure. One thing I'm noticing a little bit, the opening laning and the CSing has been improved since yesterday. So far, like they're not instantly falling behind and farm in these lanes. And Jinx had a really tough start with how Blitzcrank level 1 went. So
Yeah, Blue Bull
I'm
Summoners
surprised they're
then
back.
came back and got a kill. Did anyone see, was it the Blitzcrank hook? I was distracted by action on the other side of the map.
I believe so.
So Blitzcrank has had a lot of impact so far. Hit 3 good hooks, I believe.
Oh yeah.
One on the Jinx, one for that kill, and then one on the Galio mid.
Yeah, just hitting those early just builds your confidence for that mid-game fight, and especially just puts a little bit of fear in the other eyes too of saying, all right, he's hitting them, we gotta be careful, let me think about my positioning.
You start to overthink it and walk into the Blitzhook sometimes. That's what I do.
I think we all agreed that Jinx was going to be basically the win con for this team, almost. If they were going to ever play front to back here with the Ivern and the Morgana shielding and, 3-4 item Jinx just shredding this front line, hopefully, right?
Yeah, the other strategy would be if Aatrox could get a big lead top, right? The 1-4 split could work for them, but I agree. The Jinx is very integral to how this team works.
Yeah, Ivern was going towards that bot side, looking for someone. Ash having to blow the flash isn't enough.
Another great
He's a
hook.
gamer!
Great job with the traps there, just setting, the for sure kill down there. Another kill going over Jinx 3-0. Diego also towards the bot side, just in case they're going to make some magic happen. Ash Arrow not available yet, still at level 5 though. We'll see what ends up happening here. Top lane
This
going back
Blitz
and
cannot
forth.
miss
Well,
hooks, I think is what I'm realizing. Even the ones I don't think he should hit, he hits.
it's still hitting. Trap
Another one.
only just a little short, not quite grabbing it. A couple of tower shots here for Blitz. Getting it out of the way does pop him, but possibly another kill for Jinx. Is
There's
not gonna be
Galio
happening.
ult, though.
Galio ult coming down to save him. Meanwhile, towards the top side, Aatrox grabbing up the Yet is going to grab that kill. Great job there. 1-0 and 1 now.
Blitzcrank. Oh! I thought he was going to get it.
The gold is in the right spots right now for Murk Bucks.
Yeah, all the conditions are right. Ivern sticking down here a little bit just in case they end up pushing with that Ash and Lux, you know, those skills and abilities do end up pulling and just slightly misses Lux, but it's coming around the other
Going
side.
for it.
Flash for the Lux. The Lux hook will be down here just for a little bit. Jinx doing a ton of damage here, just ignoring the Lux, but it's rotated up by the Ivern. Blitzcrank might be able to have something to say here. Does get hit up by the Bind. Heal coming out for Ash as well. No slow going down, and I think they're going to walk out if you're nice and easy. Ivern going down from the Ash. Great job in that pocket. Jinx is getting very low, has to run away. Burn the cleanser, got the ult, but unfortunately it's not enough as the distance traveled was not quite there. Shut down for the Lux.
What a close fight. Everyone's 1 HP the whole fight.
Jinx also got another kill on the Lux before she died from the minions aggro.
Oh, okay, she does get the kill, okay. And she got it before she died, so she got the experience.
I believe so.
That's awesome. This is gonna be a crazy game. I can tell already. 6-6 at 9 minutes. More kills than minutes in the game.
Not shy for any fights here. Morgana Spell Shield coming down. Not a lot of mana yet in there, but Aatrox and family are back at it here. Blitzcrank as well, moving up just in case there is a pick. Great job by the roam there. Lux also going to match it, but unfortunately it's too little, too late on that.
Oh, I
Something we
Ash is
saw
gonna
a
lose
lot.
so much from this roam from Lux. The matching, like that she's gonna get a whole wave shoved under now.
Yeah. I really like these early supports coming up for the Void Grubs. I think it's something we see a lot at high level play, is the supports being a lot more active on the map than they had been in years past. And it's just really nice to see the Blitzcrank roam up and just secure that for the team. And Jinx gets a bunch of solo XP.
Blitzcrank having some happy feet here. Does get the taunt, but he's out of there. He's off to his own races and still being a little bit of a threat as he's sticking in the pocket there. Meanwhile, Aatrox towards the top side, looking at Ornn, weaving in the Qs as much as he can. But so hitting the wombo combo, not quite level 6 yet, otherwise we would saw the beam come out there top side. Trading back and forth. Ornn still doing a great job of sustaining the onslaught from Aatrox.
Aatrox needs to recall. He's on 1700 gold right here. So he hasn't even backed after the solo kill he got.
Dragon out, being pinged out. That is Chemtrade for the first one. A little over 11 minutes in, so not as quite fast paced as we saw yesterday at the Dragons on game 1. Maybe a little bit slower pace, burning through, and some tower plates going down here. Morgana grabbing them, Jinx grabbing one as well.
I think Murk is going to be kind of happy with the delay in the stacking. I don't think they're in a great spot to start stacking early on their team, so just preventing them from taking it before 8 minutes, 9 minutes is a big deal. So they got extra time to play with here. More scaling opportunities.
Yeah, Aatrox now fighting up the Ornn. Ult passing right by Aatrox, popping ult maybe a little late. Does get pulled back though and knocked up from the Ornn. Kind of going back and forth. Aatrox has an opportunity. Ornn flashes away here to safety, and that is another very close fight. Minions also knocking down on Aatrox.
18 HP! One more auto attack from the cannon minion.
Runaway Blitzcrank grabbing up Lux Ivern there as well to help. Daisy says, I want a piece of this. Ignite goes down, and there is a kill.
That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Because the Lux isn't even 6 yet. She's really struggling to find experience on the map right now. And there's another Lux!
Max throw there does land. Flash having to pull out a smash, and the rocket ult. Got a rocket in his pocket, just sends it out there. 5-1. Already has the Kraken Slayer sitting on some more money. That might be a couple, another plate here for Jinx, but Viego towards that side now, trying to slow him down.
Blitz
Does get the slow.
this.
Blitzcrank doing a great job of the pull. Has to hit the trap and has to run away here, just delaying a little more time.
Galio's hovering.
Yeah, Galio's trying to get over there, but not going to do too much. It's the Morgana threat of that pushing. Now with, the W max, I believe. Let me check before I make
the W max. Yeah.
Yep, that is going to be pushing very hard. So if you end up roaming bot lane, though, this Lux is having a terrible time.
Who's this new support? I like this guy. I like the way he thinks.
Wow.
It's League's new champ they just came out with. It's called Blitzcrank.
What an opening game for this guy.
Yeah.
For Murk Fox.
Murk's Fox bot lane yesterday was just really struggling to stay even, but they've looked domination with this new fatality player.
Yeah, that is something. The ADC looks a lot more confident and stuff too. We were talking about that yesterday.
I wonder if this is somebody he plays with quite a bit because he just feels more comfortable.
No second void.
Unfortunately, time ran out there. Rift will make it
Oh,
live here. And
let's
possibly
here.
a fight.
Morgana's TPing in.
TP and
They're gonna
Galio
fight
also
this.
going in for the fight. Galio missing the taunt by not finding purchase for anyone. Lux here as well. This is going to be a giant fight. Galio popping up ends up killing one, but they still have everyone towards the backside. You have Aatrox also trying to find purchase. Double kill here for the Viego. They are looking for more. The hook comes out, but unfortunately, it's the wrong person cosplaying as the Blitzcrank. Triple kill for him, and they might be looking for more here. Lux binding up Ivern. He's got to get out of there, but it's not going to happen as the passive procs, and it is lights out.
5 versus 4 at the beginning of that fight. Lux was just a tiny bit late, but look at the target selection. The only person they could fight was the Orin, and he just stands there. He's happy. He's happy to have everybody hitting him because they killed the Morgana for almost free, and then they're able to turn it on to the rest of them. Orin being a big problem in that fight.
Yeah, great team fight pushing out there, and that's what you guys mentioned here early on when we were drafting, is that wombo combo. Galio doing a great job too, smashing up two, and then great target selection as you just mentioned as well. Rift going down here. We'll see if they end up trying to use it right away or if they're going to hold off for Dragon coming up here in less than a minute.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the comp with Galio and Orin. It's really hard to fight without Jinx there, and Jinx is just the character who doesn't really have the opportunity to come.
Lux with the heal. It's not enough though.
Yeah, trade 1-for-1 here. A lot of assists going over there just for the individual kill. Blitzcrank moment up there does find Diego.
What if it's gonna hook this gun away? I want to see it. Oh.
Now you're putting too much pressure on him, alright?
I'm coming to expect big things from this guy because he's hit every hook I've seen.
Just close your eyes when you think it's gonna miss, and that way you can keep
Exactly. That's how I play Blitzcrank.
Yeah. Ocean Drake
That
coming up here.
Fight really evened up this game, and unfortunately, a lot of the kills went over to Viego, which is not what you really want to see. That's basically
Actually, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's like the soul. Like, this is a Viego comp, right? They're bursting down one person, he's getting a bunch of resets, and then they're winning the fight after. That's how this comp is being played.
Yeah, and the biggest threat for Jinx is the Viego this game. So Viego getting big makes really scary.
Right.
Yeah, Blitzcrank being a little overzealous there, trying to clear up some vision that does get caught out. That will send over Dragon number 2 here for Krackens. Unless, yeah, nothing else is happening. Ivor's gonna keep Daisy in the back pocket for the next fight here. Morgana and Galio headed towards the bot side here, so rotations have come out. Bot lane moving up as well, and top lane, the wet noodle fight continuing. It's like you don't see anyone else on the map until at least 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah,
They're gonna duke it out right here.
Coming out here.
Or...
Yeah, he does get up from the Aatrox. He does get the passive, but it's not going to be enough. As one goes down, they look for more blood here. Blitzcrank falling again, unfortunately, and Daisy trying to find someone. Does end up reverse Uno card pull there. Does find the Jinx as well, and that is going to be another tower. Tables are turning here quickly.
So does that count as another Blitzcrank on Kidding?
Yes, it does. Yes, it
Viego,
does.
okay, I just want to make sure.
There's no need to close your eyes on that one. Morgana just trying to buy a little bit of time here. I don't think they're able to catch her unless she opts into being caught. Spell shield
I'm not in love with Jinx's build. If you guys are looking at
Yeah, I
that.
saw it right away.
Yeah, a little bit more of an individual breakdown rather than the team fight focus here. Out of curiosity, what would have been your second item, or what would be your build path in general?
I think you go IE second, right? Or is that what Jinx does? IE and that's not rapid fire or Swifties. That's what I'm. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
the Swifties are a little weird. Especially, I guess you should probably building it thinking Ash slow, being able to get rid of that with Swifties reduces the effectiveness by 25%. But it's just if Ash is attacking you, you are in a bad
over.
spot already. Yeah. So I don't like the thinking about that solution. I think I would go the IE. It's just really hard to deal with these high armor characters without an IE. Just need to be able to do some damage here.
Yeah, especially when you really have to get through these basically 3 frontliners that are pretty decently tanky.
Yeah, Viego towards the backside there. Blitzcrank finding himself out of position once I get in here. Ivern trying to take the blunt of it. Does send out Daisy, but is it going to be enough to soak and take him damage? Not quite.
Oh, he hits it.
Does cosplay for a hot second before Blitzcrank says, nah, you get back here under my tower. Great
Well,
shot.
it really
900
sucks. It really sucks that it went on the Blitzcrank and not, Aatrox or Jinx here.
He's the carry. What are you talking about?
True.
I've got all faith in him taking every kill. I want to see it.
I mean, now if he builds IE, I can see it. So Blitzcrank needs to adjust the build.
This guy's my hero. He's going to carry them to the promised land. Oh my gosh, it was so close.
Fine does land. Unfortunately, he's going to pay the price on that one. Galliel did come out. Morgana not seeing that there's someone behind. Does get taunted up. Spell shield down there. And they're going to be pushing here for tower again. See if Jinx has something to say. Does not have Rocket up yet, but is very close in case they do end up making a play.
Yeah, the game started great for Murk, but they're down 5,000 now.
This is kind of where we said this team has a lot of pick potential in these small little engagements. If it's not just a 5v5, not only do they have a good 5v5, but they also they can catch people out wherever. They choose when and where to fight, pretty much.
Yeah, a little bit of change of pace from yesterday's game, as that one was a little bit more of a 1-3-1. They had, the sidelines to worry about, and now you see the roam squad coming out for Krackens, and they are, sticking together. And as soon as they get on a target, they are just drilling them down, especially with that Viego always waiting in the wings. Good job of clearing out vision, popping out behind them and really giving them the surprise.
Yeah, Orin's been on the cleanup wave duty while they just 4-man. But it's been working. I'm not gonna fault it at all.
He's a split player, so he's gonna make the most out of it for sure.
He might not see anyone for 30-40 minutes here.
Yeah, I think he just laid by himself for 3 minutes, and no one was in that lane.
Yeah.
Just how he likes it, farming creeps.
Ash now towards mid, a little bit caught. Ashero having to go down for the blitz.
Morgana is coming.
Just enough, possibly.
Morgana?
Morgana does ulti, possibly a little too late. Does stun up the Viego though. Does get the heal down from Ornn as well. Ash in a bad position. Ornn trying to help a little bit. Is not going to find it though. Ornn with the ult, unfortunately doesn't crash into anyone. Blitzcrank with the hook, just menacing, waiting, find his time. I think he's waiting to see Viego rather than hook the Ornn here. So great job of being patient there. Ivern towards the backside, but Lux all the way from the backside here of the fight. Galio in the middle of everyone now. Viego trying to get a kill, does end up grabbing the Morgana. He's going to get the reset as well. Aatrox trying to stir up a little bit here. Dragon being started, and unfortunately Aatrox is going to be no more, as that is a third Dragon going over for them.
Yeah, that was their just chance. And did you guys see the wet doodling that Jinx's autos did?
I mean, that's to me why I don't like rapid fire there. It's just a little awkward.
Well, Kraken still gives attack speed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like the rapid fire. Just not enough damage behind for attacks.
Yeah.
You've got another 20-25% from your runes too. Alacrity and the base attack speed. Interesting build.
And if you had Murk, sure. Yeah, build that attack speed, sure.
Blitzcrank grabbing Flux over the wall.
No
Is it gonna be
up.
the reverse?
He doesn't care
though?
if it's a good hook or not. He's hitting.
He's hooking. The percentages are there. Lux.
Oh, what a
Put a
flash.
laser and a great flash over the wall. I failed that probably every time I've done that. He's over the wall again.
Oh,
Another
another
hook.
hook.
This time, now it's the Ash. We're gonna find as well.
That was a
Finding
good
Ivern
hook.
Ivern
Snow.
as well, and Daisy towards the backside.
Follow up,
Looking for this
yeah.
Ash. Aatrox is gonna be grabbing one here, possibly two, as he makes the long way around here. They are just sending this Ash for a ride. Orin also on the side trying to help out a little bit, just trying to get a little bit of a redemption coming down, not grabbing the kill, but Morgana will pick that up. And Ivern a little caught out here.
He's in trouble.
Diego decides to get in there, does throw down Invisible, smites Daisy, does not want that distraction there. Orin bringing out the ult. Jake
Need to
coming in.
focus
We'll see if
Diego.
there's a little more damage here coming out for her. Great job of targeting that. Shut down there for the Morgana. Maybe gonna try to find another one here.
Oh, another one?
Running him down. Galio also coming down, smashing tower. Losing here though. Morgana's trying to get out there. Spell shield on her. Galio being the next target. They're gonna just avoid the Orin as much as possible. Lux laser coming out. Does pick off Morgana. At the end, this fight is lasting too long and spawn timers are coming back. Blitzcrank trying to get out of there is not going to get taunted up, trying to run away. Daisy summoned a second time as well. Ash Arrow just missing right there, and they will be headed out there. What a elongated fight.
For you Blitzcrank enjoyers, that was 4 of 5 hooks in.
But
and,
you got those
It was
stats.
amazing.
When I
3
wrote the power-
amazing ones to begin the fights.
Yes.
Holy cows.
Yeah,
There.
looked over, pulling Ash over and just wreaking havoc.
Pretty much. I wrote the power rankings. I was talking about Snow Razor when I went on over this team. Mostly is engaged tankier support, but he's really fed on Lux right now, and he's low key. I think he's really carrying this game.
Yeah, he's hitting a lot of ults, doing a lot of damage, hitting a lot of snares, really.
Yeah, the damage. Like, this is where the damage is pretty much coming out of. Honestly, on this comp.
Yeah, but it's also
2.5
that high
items.
risk, high reward as well that comes out of that, because if you do get picked off, you are very squishy and there's nothing really to help, you know,
Yeah.
soften those blows as soon as they do end up getting on you. So if you can keep them at bay, you know, which this team is doing a great job of doing that. Lux, you're trying to get out. Unfortunately, he's pulled back. Flash already used.
Jinx is
trying to
excited.
get excited. Yep. Going back there, trying to get out. Galioton, Cleanse coming out there. Doesn't matter because of Blitzcrank Hook. Going
Another
back.
Blitzcrank
Count that one as it. We'll get it to the end of the tally here. Daisy trying to pop up the quote-unquote Jinx is going to. Maybe a transfer back here to Viego in the short future here. Morgana coming over, and Orin as well to join them. They are just going to head out. Blitzcrank Hooks, can we get a check on that one? Price check on Blitzcrank.
Yeah, there's 2 of 2 hit
Okay.
in that fight. That's 13 of 16 on the game.
Over under on the next fight having 3 Blitzcrank Hooks.
I think it'll be 4 hit.
Or okay. Well,
No, 5, 1 on each character. I
jeez,
think,
this is why
Yeah,
I stopped
how many,
before when you
how
can
many
have
is Viego gonna hit?
Viego will get 2 back, I think.
Dragon coming up here, Inferno. 40 seconds away. That is soul point here.
He sees him here, and he's hitting the hook.
Yeah, he's
course.
in it, but Lux on the other side, just in case something happened. Aatrox waiting in the wings is going to get spotted out there by the Vision. Morgana buying, hitting. Just a little bit of burn damage coming out there.
This is something we knew we've seen.
Yeah,
It's a
Lux
really good hook there, though.
getting hit here, but barely surviving, having to run out of there. Is going to grab a kill on the Aatrox. Orin be the next target here. Daisy in the backside trying to get rid of that Ash. TPV used by Galio. Does charge in, charging up, does grab a kill on the Blitzcrank.
still the fight's
It's not
not.
bad. 2 of 3
Yeah,
is not bad.
it's not 5 though. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
You
that
promised-
wasn't the fight I was talking about.
Oh, it's the next one.
Is Jinx going Guardian Angel now?
Yes. Well, unless there's something else that she's building off of
Don't know what else
off of
builds.
it. That's what it would be.
Interesting.
Very few things that build off of that.
Farming well and everything. I'm a little shocked. I'm just a little shocked at how the build's going.
Yeah, and then you add the Lord Dominic's regards. Yes, you're shredding the armor.
Yeah.
Still not enough damage coming out. Unfortunately, with that Galio taunt coming out there full of Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank just getting swamped up by everything. Has to flash away. Ivern trying to re-engage here, but not going to be happening as they walk away. Ornn, meanwhile, on the side lane, just pushing up. Baron coming
Did
up.
you guys notice something different than Murk did? I think this is probably the first time we've ever seen them be early in the now 3 games we've casted to any of these objectives. They were actually on time and set up and found a hook. They seem like they got everything on that fight and just can't get through this team. There's just I don't think there's enough damage coming through.
They lost their pressure between early and mid game. They lost that phase of the game really hard. They're even playing a lot of these fights fairly well. They're just down cold
Yeah.
now.
They're setting him up really well. Just not able to finish it off.
Yeah, front line just being an issue here. That Ornn and Galio just
Galio is so nasty.
So maybe a Baron suit here. Blitzcrank running in there trying to grab some blue team. Fortune Kraken's gonna grab that up here, and that could spell game here.
Ornn
3 people
nuts.
just
Wow.
getting demolished here as they try to scurry away. Morgana gonna be falling here shortly, possibly. Ash slowing them down there. Soul point going on. There is gonna be another kill. That is a 13, 3, and 7. Or right
They
now,
might-
Morgana,
They
but
might need to
and-
answer top here. It looks like.
Yeah. They had the minion wave.
yeah, Ornn tanking it right now. Not a lot of damage. All the armor that is built.
31 on Morgana still. It's a long time.
Yeah, definitely can tank this up here, and he has both towers hitting, but there's
Oh,
not
yeah.
a lot of damage. Jake's going to half health after one ult here. Galio smashing down onto the Nexus, and that is going to be game 1.
Well, the Lux ending 12, 8, and 17. She was
And by
involved.
far the highest damage.
Yeah, 29 of 33 KP belonged to Lux.
She had the highest damage in the game at 37,000, and then no one else on our team is in second place. It's actually Jinx and Morgana.
Yeah.
Or no, Jinx, then it goes back to Ornn. Oh, that's kind of crazy. You don't see that very often when the support out damages everyone. Usually up there in the damage if you're playing like Brand or Lux, but not top damage in the game.
My article appears to be correct so far. Snow Razor probably is definitely one of the best supports in this league, I think, and that's probably attributes to why they've done so well this year.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys what would you like to see changes come from each team here?
I'm thinking the mid
Uh,
lane swap out. Something, the Morgana's not a bad call, but also I feel like it didn't assist the game as much, as another mid laner could have impacted it. As well as, the Ivern did great, but there possibly are better options at this point. The Blitzcrank Jinx did great towards the bot lane, but they need to now transfer that motion into that mid game. And like you stated earlier, that's where they fell off, and that's where the scales started to tip back in their favor.
well, I want to see which side they want to go to. So they should get to pick. I wouldn't mind them going back to red side, honestly, and I would throw a better pick at top lane and see if Gabe won't blind a tank or a counter with a tank. So maybe we can get like some volatility top lane and more action there, and you can maybe win through top, catch them on a bad day or something. Yeah, their synergy is really nice. giving the Galio to. It's a team that's probably always gonna draft Galio if it's up. So, and I don't know if Murk even plays any AD mid to counter that.
Would you ban the Galio if you were Murk here then?
I if he actually doesn't have any like answer to it, it's got the global presence. Like even in this game, not even that like it was still impactful and it wasn't even like, good, but
Yeah.
it still had impact. And it was valuable, especially when you have a low damage team comp and you just have these giant magic shields coming out of nowhere. Yeah. I think you need to either bring out an AD mid here or ban the Galio away and potentially Viego.
Yeah, the way the Galio is able just to walk up during these fights and just zone everybody out of the fight, it makes it really hard to play against.
What did Galio go full tank?
Yeah, you went
Yeah.
Thornmail, Hollowed Radiance,
You could
Recharge
sit
theirs.
that behind that Ornn alone for an hour, let alone you have a Galio as well up there. You gotta have some sort of answer, some sort of like some sort of character that has magic pen, armor pen, something that can shred tanks,
Or some
burns.
backline pressure.
Yeah.
They don't have any backline pressure if Aatrox's not getting a good flank off. I mean, the blitz hook, but you have two people standing in front just trying to tank those hooks. Because if you hook one of them in, it's a bad fight for you.
And then the Viego kind of was just kind of the middle ground, waiting for Lux or someone to get a takedown, and then he jumps in and he finishes the fight. That's honestly was played perfectly right there. That's how you would play a Viego comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
I
Yeah,
want them to not ban Blitzcrank so we can see it again. That's my
that'd be
prediction.
fun.
Then I want you to throw out the total counter, and like I want
I will
little
keep
tally
track for
sheets
next game. I
of
wasn't
every
expecting so
single
many
time.
hooks to hit.
I don't
That was
want your screen
crazy.
to go awful blitz. I don't care if the action's at Baron. You
I'll
keep on
double
looking
click
at
him.
blitz.
I'll see him in side lanes farming.
Yeah,
Well, we will throw it over to break here quick as the teams reevaluate, see what side they're going to pick, and then we'll be ready for game 2, pick bands, and we'll see what happens then.
Welcome back for game 2 here. Just about ready to get into picks and drafts here. What are you guys expecting? Are we going to see the same bands? Are they going to move stuff around? Are they going to take out Blitzcrank? Is the big question.
I hope
Well,
not. I love seeing a Blitzcrank. I like seeing people go for plays. I do think it will get banned, though. I actually think it was a little bit of a problem for them. I think it was the main reason why they won the bot lane, why they had their advantage in the early game. He was rotating early to the Void Grubs and being a problem there. I think we'll see the Blitz ban. I hope we see a Galio ban. I think I want to see an Orin ban or at least a top counter pick because that was really scary. If he doesn't play any Orin, that was a good Orin game for not playing a lot of Orin.
yeah, I think he's. I think they like to win through top and bot, and then this mid laner is really supportive, almost like with that Galio pick, and then his other pick is Brand. You know, you just kind of have to lay R in a team fight, and that's all your team needs. You know, on a semi-competent team, which this is. Um, Interestingly enough, though, Merc Fox elected to go blue side instead of uh, enforcing another red side pick. I don't know
They
what their
love Blue
plan
Side
is.
though. They played it both games yesterday, right?
Yes, I believe they did. Maybe they're gonna try to. I don't think it'll matter, but we were talking about this earlier with like bands, like because the ADC for Kraken plays a lot of Kaisa and then Jinx and Zeri. It's kind of just those three only, and then after that massive skill drop off, like the Ashe, yeah, it looked okay. Nothing special though, right? Well, I was more impressed with like the Lux and the overall rest of the team than just the Ashe.
But I
But
do think the Ash helps enable the Lux, right? The slows, the alt, it sets up for the
yes,
Lux. Maybe they were trying to play more. Okay, this is a combo. This is kind of trying to enable the support to have more impact on the game.
right. I wonder if they're going to take Kaisa or pick Jinx or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like ban one,
Pick
pick
the
the
other.
other, and then maybe force it on a Zeri or even ban Zeri. But I think you have to throw at least one ADC ban in here because it's such a small pool. You gotta. And then
Yeah,
I
but
think the
what do you take
Viego's a
the
problem.
ban away from? Do you take it away from top? Do you take it away from the Galio? Like, there's so many problems on the other side of the map that it's scary
It is.
focusing too much on the ADC.
Knowing I will say this though, with Kraken, they will not uh, do a first rotation for their top laner, especially on red side.
Okay.
So they this unless Merc Fox does something weird with their top laner where they go early, this would be an R5 top 95% of the time for this team. So
Utana, what are you
I
thinking on the character picks here?
I'm I'm agreeing with you guys. Just you gotta shuffle something up, but there's only so much target banning you can do. You almost have to send your own answer rather than having ban being, the answer to it. I touched a little bit on this like towards the end. I want a different mid laner, something that can like start to do that damage. We saw the torch come out as well as Leandri's. Yes, those are tank burners, but it's not consistent damage. Once you throw out that pool or that bind, you're getting hit a little bit, but then you have mass amounts of cooldowns, and there's the support shield, and that's it. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more, maybe of a proactive mid lane to answer that, whether it be something AD, a little bit more of a back line that can tank and poke out, something like that, like a Victor, you know, Azir. And I said those out last time too, where they are just a great control. You want to step into us, you are going to pay the price for it eventually here. A couple of bands coming out. You do see the Galio, Ornn, and Brand coming out for Merc Fox.
No,
Meanwhile, on Kraken's
no,
Yorick,
dang.
they might be,
no.
yeah, they're hovering it. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a hook count on this one. You're going to have to count
Well, there
something
are
else.
other hook characters. We might still have a hook
True.
count.
There's you got Thresh. There could be a Thresh coming out here.
Caitlyn pick when his whole pool is up. Oh, Caitlyn Lux is
Oh,
disgusting though. Wow.
I'm
All right.
worried. That is a strong lane.
What? He's got to go on another hook champ for sure,
Yep,
right?
go
It's
Thresh and go a heavy ganking jungler here. Try to punish them for pushing you in, because Caitlyn and Lux are going to push you in most of the game here.
Even like a Nocturne, like get that global pressure, being able to jump those side lanes, being able to get ahead of the game, and then wreaking havoc that way, might be something they're looking at. And a
Oh,
Vladimir
I
blocking
don't
here, a little
think
bit
they
of a
meant
flex here.
that. I don't think they
Oh,
meant
if
to
they
do
don't play it.
that.
I
I
don't
think
mind
they
Vlad.
tried Nautilus here, but let's see. The Knot is the pick for Vlad.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. This is really out of pocket. And then Nocturne, like you said, Kitano. There you go.
Yeah. So I do like this team comp. You see the Nautilus, an ult, a hook, a lot of stuff can start this fight. Nocturne comes in, clears out. There's going to be the squish effect that we saw that last game of Lux. He has a great job of staying, outside of the pocket for a lot of these abilities to hit. And the Blitzcrank hook, I mean, that just was a magnet for everything, but minus that, even more range for those two in the bot lane now. And
Belveth.
Belvath coming out, Squiggles himself.
Well, I think that like Murk Fox, they've done this the last, not maybe in game one today, but yesterday they had two really good comps that like made sense and all worked well together. They're back at it again. This is every one of these champions wants to go in. Nocturne wants to fly in. Kai'Sa wants to R in. Nautilus wants to start fights and hook stuff. And there's no disengage really yet for the Kraken. Belveth's not really a big disengager, I would say.
We'll see what that ban was. Jax?
Jax.
Okay.
Jax.
So Jax gets banned from Merc Fox. They
Another
hit his Yorick too beforehand.
interesting enough, another kind of reset jungler. Belvath, does well if you can find a kill and scatter the fight a little bit.
Well, these
Yeah.
games for Merc Fox have been, 50, 60 kills and all these matches. Belveth could scale really well here, really fast if it's just permanently fighting, like we've seen.
Yeah, Annie coming out for the last ban here and the hover for the Darius. So
Giving the respect to Gabe, that's for sure. This should be their mid laner. I don't know what he's going to pick, though, since he doesn't have Brand or Galio up. So, see if this kind of breaks their team comp a little bit.
I almost would. I think like an Oriana here could be successful. Lissandra makes
Lissandra.
sense. Lissandra makes sense.
It does. I like that pick.
Very much in that supportive role that did last game and that you said he's been doing all season. It's a very strong pick at dealing with a lot of control.
He'll be roaming a lot this game. Top and bot. Lissandra, really good ganker. Gwen, that's the blind for top. I don't hate it.
yeah,
Gwen
it's
does
making
good into most matchups, I would think here, and I think
Mhm.
Darius is the one that's kind of really bad, right?
Yes, and there's a Renekton matchup that's not great, but Gwen does outscale that one eventually. But it's pretty bad in lane. Lee Sin.
Ooh, Lee Sin. That's a mid Lee Sin or mid Gwen.
I'm not. I'm not really sure.
Well, maybe they're not
say,
sure. Maybe they said we'll
Yeah,
see what
I
they
hear
pick
all
and
the
figure out
Sedge.
the
It's
lanes later.
Sedge.
Money.
It's Sedgewani.
Oh, okay, Sash.
Jeez,
Sash
guys.
here.
So
Okay, makes much more
That's
sense.
Sash top then, and Gwen mid.
so who's
Oh, I actually think it could be Nocturne mid.
A
I think
Nocturne mid. Okay.
we. I know Blood was talking about this yesterday. I kind of threw it out there. Greg is top to answer. Greg is top to answer the Gwen, which is a bad matchup for Gwen, by the way. Terrible matchup.
Yeah, sounds like it would be.
Uh,
Oh.
phew.
All right.
Ed?
I like the thought process a little bit. I like being able to try stuff. I don't know if this is the time where I'd bring it out with playoffs on the horizon here, but experimenting a little bit with the team compositions. I had no idea where people were going. So
Yeah, I'm. If I had to gander, I would say it's going to be Gwen top, said jungle, Nocturne mid, and then this Kai'Sa and Nautilus bot, which is, I think, overall actually really strong team comp. Obviously, Gwen got the short stick, but if she can scale to 3 items and kind of survive this Gragas lane, this team kind of really just gets melted by
The
Gwen.
Gragas lane
So
gets a lot better as the game goes on, too, doesn't it?
for the Gragas or the Gwen?
For the Gwen, like 4 items, Gwen starts to
Oh
fine.
yeah, like you can tower. You get to 3, 4 items. You can tower just straight up tower dive
Yeah,
Gragas, especially
yeah,
if he's building AP. So yeah, it's
it's
just
doable.
getting to that point. it's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't
The
seen
proxy
Gabe.
picks have really thrown me off here. It makes it hard to read the
Yeah,
comp.
I don't hate the. It looks like we're gonna get a lot of side lane mid laners, or like the mid laners going to the side lanes all game, just pushing their lanes in and roaming. Lysandra and Nocturne, two really good champions to do that on. So she gets spicy. A lot of 3 to 3 threes, 4v4s early around bot lane, I would assume.
Doesn't this mid lane go kind of bad for Nocturne though?
Ah,
It
we'll see.
does because Lysandra, she is weak in the mid lane for the fact that her range is very short range, but now with Nocturne in the melee, it really closes that gap. And yes, Nocturne does have the spell shield, but your abilities are on enough of a cooldown that you're going to be able to spam them regardless of that. Plus, when Nocturne goes in, or if he does come in, you just ult yourself, and well, you're
Or
taking damage
the
while you're
root,
standing
even the
there.
W makes it
Yes.
really hard to play from Nocturne, I think.
Yep. So
Yeah, it depends what you're trying to get spell shielded. I don't really know if you would want the root spell shielded. Obviously, you'd want her R. If she led with R,
Yeah.
that's a mistake from Lysandra. But
But it is also hard to react to. There's
it
not
is.
that much
yeah, with
wind up on
Winston,
it.
yeah, she points at you, and that's about it. So
Like
I'm
if you're
surprised.
already looking at Nocturne, I don't think a lot of people have the reaction time to hear the voice line and spell shield it.
Yeah. One thing I think actually you could Belveth could come mid fairly
Yeah.
easily and gank the Nocturne, like how we were talking about, attack the global. That's doable with the Lysandra setup with and then the Velveth follow up is a lot of damage. So this Nocturne could actually have a rough time just in lane. He might not even ever make it to bot lane.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I tend to gank for Lysandra a lot. It's like Malzahar to me. It's just free kills if you come when the ult's up and I'm ready. As long as they don't have it warded or as long as you have a good line. It's just really hard for Nocturne. He doesn't have any escape tools. He has a lot of go-in tools, but not a lot of escape tools.
Who do you think the 2v2 on the bot lane favors though here?
Caitlyn Luck's easy, I think.
I think so too. That's really impressive. And even if Nautilus lands that hook, that could be, you know, 2/3 of his health bar gone just from landing the hook
Mm-hmm.
before Kaisa can even step up an auto. So it's rough.
The
You'd like
root
to
in
have
the trap
Blitzcrank
is
here.
crazy. You just
Hmm.
CC'd forever. And I don't think Nautilus will be in good positions to deal with it because there's just so much poke. Unless you hit that hook immediately while you're full health, it's hard to go in.
Very telegraphed where Sejuani's going this game. Sejuani's a really good pick here. I'm glad they didn't go with Vladimir or Lee Sin.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think is there anything else you guys want to say about this before this game kicks off?
The one thing I want to take a look at is the Gragas ult, because that's really going to make it break a lot of these team fights, I believe, as well. A good casket can send out the right people, towards you, or unfortunately, away from you.
Well, that's what they want. I mean, right? They need a disengage. We talked about that with the Caitlyn Lux picks. They need a disengage. And they find both the counter pick and the disengage in the same pick. That looks pretty strong. Do we have any predictions for victory here?
I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be Kraken here. I like their comp better. I think it's easier to execute, just like last game.
I'm
Gitano,
gonna
you
have
got a
to,
prediction here?
I'm gonna have to agree as well. It's just, you know, they looked so strong at the bot lane, and I think this Lux is once again gonna roll around.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement then. I think Kraken have the easier to execute team comp, and especially at this level, I think easy to access on team compositions is a very big deal.
Perfect. We will throw it over to a quick break here.
And then we'll be right back with game 2. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back for game 2 here. Well, no blitz pull, unfortunately, right away, but Nautilus
We're to
is
see a hook
sneaking around
anyway.
here.
Oh, I thought he was going for it.
Close, but no cigar. You do have the Kalen on the other side, Belvath as well. Just a little bit of a fun little play there in the beginning, but unfortunately not going to see first blood in the first 30 seconds.
You know, maybe we
Yeah.
could use a little calmer of a game. I enjoyed the pressure, but maybe that's what Murk needs, a little calmness at the beginning. Allow them to get set up a little bit.
Yeah.
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 Quite a bit of ping coming out from Lysandra here, 1,300. Not bad. Really going for the high score.
Yeah. Well, we saw this also too yesterday, where game 1 was a very high pace, individual going back and forth game, and then towards game 2 it relaxed a lot more. So we'll see if that trend also continues here for them.
It's
Yeah,
one of
I
those
think
situations where nerves can play into a factor in game 1.
I really think the win con right here for each team has to be in the bot lane. You got to make sure this Caitlyn and Lux suffocate this spot lane 2v2 for as long as possible, which is preventing and being there when Sedge is there for the 3v3 counter. And we'll have to see how Gabe plays his top lane, because I don't know how much Gragas he's played, but it's obviously a really good pick. But if you can't play the champion, then it gets hard.
And here comes an early gank mid. Sandra has to blow flash, but gets out. Look at how much harass Nocturne is taking this one. This is what I was worried about. It is tough to be short range versus Sandra.
It's also a part of the reason I think for this is Bloodmurk starts a long sword with the green refills.
Refillable potion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite what you maybe want to see out of that. Does have to back already. We'll see if he ends up using this early here, but that's going to gain a lot of leveling for Lysandra to be up there. That's going to put Nocturne at even a worse advantage.
And this bot lane is what I was worried about. We talked about Nocturne or Nautilus not being able to go for hooks because of being poked down. Look at this. He can't go in anymore. He's just standing around at this point. And Ghost pop.
He's a pop Ghost. Are they going to try to... Oh, he gets the hook!
It works!
Let's get the hook from Lux here. Going kind of far down. Does have to burn the Ignite and Flash, so... a little bit of a trade back and forth there. Nautilus still having it, and the Ghost preemptively popping. Just having faith in this board.
Yeah. That
Murk
is believing
already-
in your support to the next
another
level.
one,
Another hook.
one.
And a hook
2 for
again,
2.
but the double bind comes out
Matter.
from Lux, and that's not going to matter too much as they do end up grabbing the kill here. Not a lot of mana, but just enough to get that double bind. Really threw a wrench in there.
Yeah, this is the Caitlyn Lux lane in a nutshell. You just get poked down. You try to go for an engage because you're getting poked down, and they just kill you because you're half health.
You really need your jungler to make impact. Oh, the Gragas sustain. Here it is. This is the part of the
Yeah.
lane that sucks.
But Gwen doing good in the CS department, 19 to 14 with a giant wave coming under her tower.
It is. You like to see that. And it could be a late game. This could be. She's going to be really good on the side lane. And it's going to be really hard to deal with and answer her, especially if you can just hold Gragas there forever. Because this 4v4 doesn't look that bad.
I'm not a Gwen main. Is Dorn's Ring a normal start?
Yes.
Okay,
I would
it
say
is.
in this matchup, though, you got to go D-Shield and give some respect there. And then I think she also has Bone Plating. Second Wind would help with the sustain as well.
Where's that Conqueror? Looks like Conqueror, right?
Yeah. She's got the Conqueror. And then the Phase Rush with the Gragas is... Yeah, that's pretty much going to be the thing that makes him get away every 2 seconds.
So
That
towards the
makes
bot
him.
side,
Oh,
a little bit of fights going on here. Lux going in.
But
Belvath
Sedge is
also
here.
there. Sedge is making way over, but that may not be enough as Nautilus goes down. Gang already there. Flash having to be blown by. Sedge wanting to get away from the Lissandra. Great gap closing there to blow the Flash.
yeah, 3 for 3 on hooks. 2 of them he would have preferred to miss, I think.
Yeah,
But
not wrong.
he's just
But
got magnets on those hands. You know, there's not much you can do about it.
Oh, Gragas uses Zara there to kind of clear the way.
I think he was looking to push him under tower into the stun there.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. That's definitely not his max range, but... I don't know.
Lissandra going in here towards the Sejuani, getting rooted up and over the wall. Enough damage is going to come out. The passive flow of Lissandra is going to slow down and take a little bit of damage here.
She's too oom
on
to get
the
this kill
Nautilus.
though, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
She's
have
wasting
the
time. There we go.
doesn't have the mana for a lot. No ult as well. Nocturne not being able to help. Does have ult now. The paranoia can come out, and Nautilus might be looking for a hook. Does end up finding a paranoia. Also goes down there trying to find a little bit, but Belvath end up grabbing the kill, trying to get out there. Not gonna happen.
Oh.
Meanwhile, towards the top side, Gwen
Casket.
smashing on this
Gwen might get
rocket.
solo.
Just trying to get away here. It's not gonna have anything, unfortunately, for that answer. Ghost being popped as well for the Gwen.
That's a
And
huge
that'll
deal though. Getting ahead of the
That's
Gragas early is
massive.
massive.
The ghost from Gwen as well really helps out in this lane and stuff. You see some Gwens, you know, you go Ghost, you go Flash, you go Ignite. I think Ghost is actually super strong here. When Gragas is out of position like that, pretty much, you could run him down the lane.
Oh, Nocturne not being able to go anywhere. Ignite here from the Lux, trying to drain him down. He's gonna take one power shot. Sejuani though coming in, might get the kill back. Does trade.
This is
Lux
Oom on
and Sejuani
Lissandra.
grabbing one. Lissandra gonna get stunned up here. Not mana for anything here. Can't use ult either. Red buff thrown down, but just not enough as the tower provides safety.
Yeah, Lissandra ult just came up too, so I'm worried for this Doctor when he comes back. If the Belvath times is right, Lissandra's gonna back here likely and be coming back with full health after this wave.
I think what would be really smart here. I know we said that how important bot side would be, especially for Sejuani and both these teams. But I think if you can take advantage of this Gwen being so strong right now, and this maybe the inexperience on Gragas, I think 3-man dives up here could really set a tone and get this Gwen to an unstoppable point in this game.
Look at that damage just on that scissor.
Yeah.
I forget what that skill's called, but does so much damage.
Snip, snip.
Snip, snip. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and a hook coming up from Nautilus. That is, you know, just because you
Yeah, had a ball.
just because you can throw it doesn't mean you should.
No, I think he believes the opposite. If he can throw it, you throw it.
That was a really good use. It wasn't enough still.
When finding their Sejuani, though, looking for the kill. Oh, Kaisa will end up taking here. Great job utilizing the ult here.
If you're curious,
From
that's
the
2 for 2 on hooks on Nautilus and bot lane there.
Oh, and another kill
Okay.
going over. Love to see the synergy of this bot lane coming alive again in this game.
And Murk right now is just kind of proving us all wrong. Everything we just said
I think it's cast.
about how this game's
No
going.
matter who I pick, the opposite wins. So you let me know who you want to win, and I'll just vote.
Let's start match fixing this. Mitch, predict this team.
Yep. Well, series and you know, big money on this. I have my house riding on it, so might be coming over to your house to stay the night. Unfortunately.
For how painful this has looked for Nocturne so far, he's actually has a CS lead.
I can't believe that. It's looked miserable to lane. But sometimes people over-focus on harassing and they don't think about where the CS is at. He's going in.
Sandra didn't have R,
But did have the
she has
Gamble.
E.
yes. Gwen, I think, is going to be able to walk this one out. Maybe.
Lux just
Not anymore.
taking this escape away.
Got it?
There's just a small little gap. And
Wow. You do not want to fight Bel'Veth here, though. She's in her
What is Gwen?
ultimate
Dude, she
form.
walked right next to the wall. What is she doing?
just
Oh,
playing with fate, and unfortunately might end up having the last laugh as dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging, but it's not going to be enough. You are not dodging all the wrenches. Luxall coming out, not doing a ton of damage right now, but as the game scales, that will do a ton of damage here. Meanwhile, AD carries in the bot lane just being alright, just to trade back and forth.
I can't believe she walked up to that bush when she knew she was in there.
A little bit of a gutsy play here. Sejuani trying
Here's
to get out.
Nautilus, gonna look for a hook probably.
Yes,
what he likes to do.
looking. He just wants to give it a little bit of time and space. Does end up throwing it on the Grog. Sejuani has to walk away here. I don't think you want to turn with that low of health. Meanwhile, towards the mid lane, low mana here on the Nocturne. Lissandra keeps on pushing in that tower and grabbing plates. And you see topside as well. 2 plates down already.
That was actually a relatively smart play from how Nautilus played. He tried to let somebody grab turret aggro so he could get the stun into the hook and try to go for a kill, but no one really picked it up.
Yeah,
Oh, I think this might be bad.
on the outside too.
The Gwen ult thing, it's going to be a dead Lux.
Yeah, Lux not really anywhere to go, nowhere to escape. And we see
Nautilus
Bill
lives!
going down, trying to get Krackens
So
away from
close.
safety. Does use the blast plant and just hops over. Nautilus lives to see another day as well as Sejuani. That could have been close.
I'm really
like
liking
this guy.
the theme. I'm really liking the theme of blue team right now. Murk, like it's basically just what they've been doing. Just dive, and dive. I love this style from them.
Lots of action. As long as we rinse and repeat, eventually we will get what we want.
Yes. Still a CS lead in the mid lane. I think this might be a dead.
As
Nice
the amount
ult.
of damage, just not enough. Even with the BF sword, just
Wow, I
hanging
actually
on
can't
by
believe she
the
lived.
edge of skin of her teeth.
33 HP about 4 seconds after. She must have been at like 15.
I must have prayed to some League of Legends god there to stay alive. Nautilus taking a ton of hope there.
Thought he was going for it.
But I think the way you need to start that lane, I think you gotta go D-Shield or the corrupting bots if those are even still in the game. We got a gank though, Sejuani hits the R.
Trying looking for
That's what
Lissandra just
happens.
ulting in that stasis. Nothing really able to happen. Bel'Veth grabbing the reset here, and they are going to go after Sejuani. There's not much to be done here as the double kill goes over, as well as Red Side taking down the plate. Murk really happy with going on with the mid and bot lane. Let's see if they swing that momentum over to Draken here.
You can't fight here. What are you doing?
Flash there by Nautilus going all in. There's no help though from anyone else. It doesn't matter
He's
though.
gonna go for a hook.
Static Shiv play really doing the work. No need to do a hook if Caitlyn kills you.
That was insanity. They got all the sums from NW Outlane too. No sum on Lux or Caitlyn now. I think it was worth it.
Yeah, Belvath out headed towards the bot side. It does have Kaisa in sight. Not sure if they are able to catch up. Not quite. Let's touch a little bit on the items. What are you seeing here? What's catching your eye?
It's pretty much standard stuff on like the 80 carries here, isn't it? Static Shiv,
Pretty
Collector.
normal. On the supports and the AD carries, the mid laner. So we have Nocturne who has the drinker, Hex Drinker. Everything else is pretty good though.
I don't think there's anything that's surprising me from items like there was last game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Elveth's really ahead now. This is gonna spin out of control here, just kind of how Viego happened last game. This is kind of the same game on repeat at the moment.
Just flash up on Nautilus. No, okay. Not quite in range then. He would have went for it if flash was up.
I'm surprised he didn't grab the Hex Tag Flash, you know, just in case.
I agree.
Still use it.
He's the type of player that's fun to watch just because they're always going in.
Yeah, you have to respect the ability of, oh, he's not dumb enough to do this. Oh, no. He is, and he will get away with it.
He hit that hook to Lux when he was at 10% HP.
He's either going to win you the game or lose you the game. There's no in between.
And another hook going on for the Kaelin. Unfortunately, not a lot of follow-up pop-up going there for the Nautilus. Someone has to take this. They do Nocturne stepping up there to tank. No, gets rooted up. Unfortunately, if you do that right on top of Vision, everyone's there. That is going to be the end result. Lissandra going to grab more plates here, possibly a turret.
Probably not any plates, considering it's on the T2.
Oh, well. You know, a big plate, you know, of just one tower.
It does have the T2, though. And they're going to be rotating up for this Gragas tower, I think. No, they're going to go for the Rift Herald here.
I'm really liking the synergy between the mid laner and the jungler.
I don't know if you just saw that Lysandra play. She threw her E and then said she chased E and then she didn't take it and walked out.
Yep. And you have to respect it too, because, you know, if you don't and she takes E, she's out of there.
It's coming
Almost
up again.
gets the kill.
Yeah. Nautilus, great job of staying home, sniffing out the E. Ignite going down. That is going to be a dead Lysandra.
Gwen almost gets a solo kill.
Almost 2 kills, really. The Belvath ends up really low at the end of it, too.
Yeah. And then the cavalry comes, and look at all that red on the mini-map, though.
Yeah, and a Rift Herald as well, I believe, somewhere in the midst of this here. We'll see if they end up popping that out. Do they have Rift Herald?
Yeah, they took it. I'd imagine it's still up here. They might use it to break that hip. That's where I would be using it right now.
They are rotating with it here. Nautilus being the main focus. Caitlyn acing the hold, not going to do as much damage, but Belvath being able to slide in there quickly. Nocturne trying to go back. Great shutdown, but almost doesn't grab it here.
He took so much damage when he went in. I thought he actually lost.
Gwen R. The fight's not over quite yet.
Ulting the Caitlyn.
Is there an ult?
Might be able to be saved here. Lysandra ult just crashing up that Sejuani saying, I am the better failure pick here as they are going to Caitlyn.
This is not how you want to fight if you're Murk.
Yeah, Gragas laying down the casket. Unfortunately, not going to help too much here. Lysandra throwing out the E. Yes, you got knocked up by the Nautilus, but you escape again. And this mid-game fight era, once again, we're seeing those scales turn.
Yeah, I think Murk just... they fight in a lot of situations where they can't fight or they shouldn't fight. But I was surprised it even went that well. They actually traded 1-for-1 on the tail end of that when it looked really bad, and it could have went significantly worse if just one more skill shot lands.
It's pretty much, this is the 4th game we've done the last 2 nights for this. This is how every one of their games has gone, right?
Yep.
They're close in the kill count and everything like that, and then they just lose it from a macro perspective. Like they don't get anything off of any of the kills that they get, and while their opponents are taking everything from them.
Nautilus hitting the hook, but has to flash over there to avoid the rest of the team collapsing there. Dragon coming up. This will be Dragon number 3 for them if they do end up securing this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if something about the way the team's set up, if they don't have an active voice in kind of what they want to be doing, they just look disjointed on whether they're going for fights or not. They could have an active voice and other players are just not on the same page, but there's just a little bit of something in their way they have their team set up that just seems a little off to me.
Yeah, Lizandra trying to make the play here on Kaisa, going to be able to scoot out there. Gwendolyn charging through, not going to find anyone. Lizandra taking out Nautilus. Meanwhile, towards the top side, Nocturne's looking at this Gragas here. Possibly going to be able to catch up, but Gragas not having ult, no flash. Paranoia going down, possibly going to help, but here comes the team. Belvath looking at the Nocturne, does smite for a little bit of slow, ace in the hole as well, going down. Belvath picking up the kill. This could be Baron and possibly a lot more to have happen here. Sejuani just scooting away. I don't think she even wants to look at this.
No, I don't think she can come forward here. There's just too much control. I think this game is... They're going to have to find a really good fight. This is looking really bad. All of a sudden, too, because it looked good just 5 minutes ago. From 15 to 20 minutes, this game fell apart.
They just weren't fighting together. They weren't respecting when and how they can fight. And they just tried to kind of ARAM it almost. It felt like.
Yeah. But it was one of those ARAMs where somebody's dead, then somebody engages, they die, then somebody engages, they die, then the last 3 people go in.
Yeah.
If they just went in, if they ARAM'd it, but they're all 5 there, I actually think they could have won some of these fights.
Oh, for sure. Their team fights not bad at all. Obviously, they have. You have Gwen too. It's like you have some side lane pressure that red team doesn't have, but it's still not a bad team fight either way.
This Gragas sticking power is crazy here. He just has to save his E. Oh, nope, Zedge is out now. Up the wall.
And then his team here is rotating. He can hold.
They still have a little bit of deep vision, so they can still chase a little bit here. Lux, unfortunately, not able to flash
That
over
is
the
a
wall.
thick
Ace
wall.
In the hole. Going down there, trying to find purchase somewhere. Sejal going on Belvath, the target, but it's not a lot of damage going to be pulled out in front of that Nautilus ult as well. Unfortunately, gonna take
Doctor TP into the backline now.
from the backside, but is gonna get swallowed up right away. Double kill here for the AD carry Caitlyn.
That's exactly what you said, Lou. They're just ARAMing it and then going in one by one.
Look at this, even when
Single file line
what
of
is going on? Look at this, they're chasing this fight.
Trying to peel everyone in. Meanwhile, Lux is taking mid.
He's gonna walk behind.
Oh. Yeah, grabbing the rook. Alting as well, trying to lock them up. Lux on the side here. Lissandra will be picking up kill. That passive as well is going to be bursting down a little bit. We see 2 pops on that, slowing down the Nautilus. Able for Lux to come in as well as Gragas with the Roa, tanky enough there for that. That's going to be tower in him and possibly the game if they don't stop what's going on here. Spell Shield can only block 1, not 5.
Oh,
Belvath running out of there. Gragas still seeing what's going on. Does have Arcane as well, just in case. The service embrace, just in case something crazy happens, and that is going to be game.
That's it.
It looked bad with the head bear, and I was expecting the game to be ending pretty soon.
I keep my house. Yes.
Yes. That's a tough one. It's a tough one to watch because it seems like Murk always is in a position where they could be successful, and it falls apart the same way every time. It's just a little sad to see.
Yeah, just, like you said earlier to, echo that, just a voice of saying, "Hey, this is what we're going for. Make sure we're on
Mhm.
the same page." Maybe just holding off that engage for 2 to 3 seconds and letting your team being able to join, it could have made all the difference.
Yeah, for sure. Just talking it out, just saying, okay, let's look at a team cup. The next fight we're taking is going to be a dragon that's in 1 minute. I want everybody in this area 30 seconds beforehand. If you need to push out a lane, go ahead and push out a lane now, but we're grouping and looking for a fight in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
That type of call could, I think, it solve a lot of issues. And maybe they are calling that. We don't see the inner workings of the team so much, so it's hard for us to speculate on exactly what's going on. But look at the red side team. Look at how close their damage is to each other. Everyone was involved in everything.
yeah, it's across the board, KDAs differ a lot, but nonetheless, just progression and being able to help out everyone. I think it was a great game here for Craig, and they did a great job of being patient. There was a bunch of times that, you're like, oh, the scales are tipping pretty bad. Gwen's gonna come online. Nautilus is hitting the hooks, whatever you're doing, but a great job of being patient. Hopefully somewhere in the mid game there too, they go, okay, this is our opportunity. Dive right in, took advantage, and that was it.
Yeah. I I did like the theme for both teams though. Like these comps both made sense. I thought they actually drafted really well, and I think it just was a matter of you can't fight with the numbers advantage. That's what it felt like. It always felt like it was 4-2 fights you're taking or 3 versus 1s. It was just never a 1-on-1 really, except for top lane at the beginning.
And we saw that in the one-on-ones and even in the two-on-twos. They did decent in that bottom lane. They took an early death, but after that, they were able to find some plays. But once it comes to the 5v5, they look lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kaisa and Gwen, they can really kind of start carrying this game in a slower paced game, more coordinated. I think if this game gets to like 30, 35 minutes, when these guys have 3, 4 items, it's really nice team fights for them and side lane pressure. But are you guys ready to interview some of the winners from Kraken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Who do we got?
All right, we got Gabe and we got Adder. I'm not sure. So Adder, are you in the mid lane right
I'm
now? Guessing.
spaghetti. Yeah, sorry.
Cool,
I,
cool. All right. Well, how do you guys feel after that win? You guys are now 7-1 on the season, and you finish up with dropping point in week 9. How does this season gone, and how are you guys feeling right now?
yeah, last week on our loss, we feel like we were just a little off. Everyone was kind of on vacation and stuff, so we didn't get to practice much. And it's kind of the same thing for this week. Everyone's been kind of off, but we had a scrim in between these weeks and kind of like worked out a lot of our just communicating throughout the game, letting people know our intent, letting everyone know like what we're doing in the next 15 seconds to really stay cohesive. Everyone's always talking and just giving information. That's what's helped us, I think, keep it clean for the most part.
Awesome. Ch- are you guys aware of the playoff picture right now and how these final weeks kind of affect the seeding and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so I
we're
think
trying to lock in for number one here.
yes. So if you guys finish up with DP Hellfire on week 9, you guys will get the number 1 seed automatically because Kid Killers have already played all their games. Right now, since you won tonight, you can officially not get the 4th seed. So
That's right.
that's something really. I mean,
One
it
step closer.
improved. Yes, it's an improvement. You're still fighting with the third. The You could get the 3rd seed if dropping point loses out, and then you guys were to lose. I think that's something weird. But yeah, it's all coming together. Are you guys excited for playoffs?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's looking really nice. I think everyone's really comfortable with each other. We have a good organization we're under. We have a like to thank our coach Linking and Hanzo and all the other personal helpers on the Diamond team that have like kind of just shadowed all of us. It's been a big learning and just really fun time in this organization so far for us. I mean, we've been doing a lot of winning, which that's great, but we're trying to keep a chip on our shoulder and act like every game matters.
It looks like you guys will have some redemption arc to make if Cosmic gets into the playoffs, and that could be your week 1 matchup potentially, or your first week of the playoff matchup, since it'll be the one
Cosmic,
before.
they played a really good
Uh,
match against us in week 6, and I think that we barely lost to them, and I think that we can turn the tides if we have to run into them again.
nice,
Nothing
nice.
against them. I think they're a really good team, but I think we're pretty evenly matched, and if we get another shot at them, it could go in our favor, hopefully.
Cool. And my final little spiel here is Keg Killers came on last night. They were actually on uh the Twitch yesterday when we were streaming their game against Murk. They really want that redemption arc against you guys. They want you guys. They're kind of salty that you're their only loss on the season, and they're hungry for it. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, we know their lineups changed. I feel like Gabe was incredibly comfortable in his lane week 1.
Yeah, I
Um,
was. I was first timing champs and I was dominating.
but we know they have a new lineup, so we'll have to, scout them out a little bit. Not that we're not concerned, but we have a game plan. We have our team comp set up. We have some spreadsheets, and we're pretty much ready for anything they have to throw at us. And we wish them the best of luck.
It certainly looks like that. You guys had some really nice caps, and I really like that Viego one. So
It's a tough pill for me to swallow to have to be the tank Galio instead of the AP Galio this past few games, but
it seems like
it's
you really like that
yeah,
Galio
well,
though.
it's not that like all of my other like games I've had on here, I've been putting up 9, 10 kills with the Galio and stuff, and it's just really fun rushing Lishbane on him and bopping people. But yes, sometimes you have to be the front line, and that is really fun, just taunting the crap out of everybody.
True and true. I think my fellow casters have some questions and stuff, so I'll give it to them.
Yeah, a couple of questions. Are you worried about No, I'm not going to do that because that would be awful. um, take me a little bit through your draft phase and picks. Are you guys going into this with a team comp in mind that has interchangeable pieces, or are you going, hey, this is what they picked. Let's start doing counters. Take me a little bit through that.
Gabe, do you want to explain it? Or do you want me to explain how do we kind of go about draft? I don't think that's
The
gonna
way
really.
I can. So the way we go about draft is typically before a match will start. Is we do sit down and we look at what everyone's has been playing in solo queue or whatever, and we kind of like just go off of that. And we've sat down as a team and we have gone over what our strong picks are, and we kind of just drafted that and try to make it work from there. And it's been working for us. We've been able to throw up some stuff like today playing the Viega with the Galio and Orn. Felt really good with the Ash Lux bot. Felt really strong.
I will say that Bustaby's pool really has expanded because you kind of like look at that on his op.gg, and it's all Kaisa and some Zeri, some Jinx here and there, but he pulled out 2 picks when he could have had those 3 other picks. So it's kind of nice to see how versatile he can be and stuff.
I agree. Yes, I'd say that of everyone in our team, Busby's probably the one that's adjusted to someone getting thrown in the cold water the most. He was like picking up Ash, not really, using his ultimate like at the end of fights, not using E off cooldown and stuff, and now he plays it very cohesively like it should be. He's picked up Caitlyn, the Caitlyn Lux. I mean, that's the thing. I've been kind of being the mid AP carry. It feels so nice to just build the Hollow Radiance on Galio and let Snow Razor just open up. Oh my gosh, I love that guy. Like, don't get me wrong. Having me and Gabe in here is great and all, but our bot lane, those two are a cornerstone of this team, and without them, well, our late game is usually just gone. So we really
Um,
appreciate those guys.
yeah. Um, Towards in game, are you guys looking at the objectives, right as they come up, like this is a necessity, or is it like, oh, hey, we're in a good spot, we're gonna start taking?
We
these
try to look for picks. So if like something's up for like 30 or 45 seconds, if anybody's mispositioned on the opposing team or looking for vision and we can pick them, then we'll generally just try to hold the objective. And if a team fight breaks out, we want to keep our jungler alive and take out their jungler and their main carry at that point is kind of how we go about objectives. Uh, we like to leverage our inner T2 with teleport for Baron a lot. Whether that's Gabe or myself. We have that macro set up generally most of our games. Um, we kind of I didn't even realize we had Soul the first game. Apparently, we just got Soul, so that was cool. I'm like, oh hey, we got Soul. So I mean, like, yeah, we're paying attention, but sometimes it's rolling in so fast that even I'm kind of like, oh dang. Which is not to brag. It's just some of these games, like we have a really good early game. It seems like, and we that was our issue in the beginning of the season before we were playing, is we were like kind of falling off mid game with our lead. Now we know what to do with it, and we have agency, and we have a way to just end games in 23 minutes or 25 minutes if need be.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a Monday, you get lost in the shuffle of everything, let alone you look down and you're like, oh, soul point. I don't think anyone would ever complain like that you got
Yeah,
it.
getting out of a work shift at 9 and into this series is something I've gotten used to.
With that, I'll throw it over here. Slew, what do you got for him?
Yeah, I had a couple questions about how you guys coordinate because it looked like your macro is really nice in both the games. I know you just talked about transitioning from your early game to your mid game into your late game. Do you guys have a primary color that you utilize for that, or is it all everybody kind of giving a little bit of input? How do you guys approach that?
It's kind of me and Gabe. And we generally for like big rotations, like Busby will ask when he can rotate. If game 2, he rotated at like 14 minutes after he cleared a big wave. I had a wave shoved on Nocturne. There's no reason he can't just go there, and I can get a free reset. So like generally, me or Gabe will sometimes guide Bust. Not that he doesn't know, but it's easier just to guide the man so he can keep farming. Me and Gabe will call each other around for teleports if they're both up. If like we're both resetting for a 1-3-1 or something, I'll be like, "Hey, do you want me to go top?" He's like, "Oh, I kind of want top." So like that's kind of how we generally do that. Gank is always looking for skirmishes, and he's kind of like a dog on the end of the leash. We just tell him whether he can or can't.
For sure, for sure. And then both games and previously in the season, you played a lot of Galio. You seem to be a very supportive mid player. Is that a very conscious thing? And do you like playing the supportive mid? Would you rather be on something like a Zed or an Assassin or on a bit more of a playmaking solo character? Or do you really like being that person who's helped getting the team rallied around and looking for the
Yeah.
team fights?
So when I was in the Risen League, I was in a platinum and gold league. There I played alongside a very high cap, like a diamond cap jungler, and I basically learned that if I have something with wave clear and I can just play off of him with skirmishes, it just snowballs and it gives me priority always. And I've always, I don't know, I'm a very altruistic player. All of my diamond coaches say you need to stop helping with this. You need to stop rolling to the skirmish that they're already winning, and you just need to keep farming. And I'm just like, yeah. So yes, it's very much like I have no problem playing Pantheon mid, so I can do just what I did with Galio, pretty much in an AD form. Uh, I mean, I have Fizz in my back pocket when I want to feel, when I want to get greedy, but it's kind of hard to implement him into a competitive comp.
Yeah, it's kind of that last minute counter pick that just happens to work out, and you have to have the confidence to be able
Yeah,
to
if I
get that
see
in
like a
for sure.
F or something, and I know it's coming in my lane, I won't be afraid to like play Fizz into that or something.
For sure. Cool. And that's all I got for questions.
All right, well, we did this with keg killers last night. We have some predictions though. So the people that are in the playoffs right now, obviously you guys are locked up. Keg killers are locked up. TFP Hellfire is now in the playoffs. Cosmic's on the bubble though. The team you guys your only loss. Would you rather see them in the playoffs, or do you think Courageous Wing 5 can overthrow DP Hellfire tomorrow night and spoil Cosmic's playoff run? What do you
We
guys
would
think?
love to. I'd love to play him again. What do you think, Gabe?
I'd love to play them again. I think they're a very
I
fun
think we want to
match.
run it back. Yeah,
And I
we
think,
we definitely want to run it back.
yeah, we learned a lot from those games.
Right. It seems like you would get those are the two most likely playoff matchups you would get in the first round. It's either going to be DP Hellfire, which you play week 9, and then you'll get Cosmic if you get the number 1 seed, more than likely. So yeah, but you guys have anything for us, or are you
Well,
good to go?
we really appreciate the time. We appreciate you casting and stuff for the game, and thanks to the Murk organization for having us. And good game to Merc Fox. We appreciate them and their time. We know that everyone's got the real life stuff going on, and for 10 people to get together like this and get a game done, sometimes it's difficult. So,
Right.
other than that, just yeah, thanks for your time and everything, man. We appreciate it. Gabe,
Thanks.
Yeah.
anything?
Thanks. Thanks for having us on.
Alrighty, guys. We're gonna wrap up the cast real quick here. So we'll see you guys later.
Adios.
See ya.
SS Krakens for life, baby.
Mute that man.
So yeah, high energy coming out there from the players and well deserved off the wins. Playoff picture still a little murky. I will throw the no pun intended there once again, Spencer. I know you're just cringing at that,
Ridiculous.
but we're doing it. We're doing it live anyway. So, um, more games to come here. I believe Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna have more
I think there was a game
Yeah.
on.
tomorrow, wasn't there?
Uh, Tomorrow's different league, but yes,
Okay.
Wednesday. Well, I mean, I don't know what Merck's got tomorrow, so maybe there's another Merck game tomorrow. We'll see.
Well, the next game that will be on, I will be here as well. Hopefully my fellow castmates will be able to make it. Like we said, they how real life stuff does happen, but needless to say, we appreciate everyone tuning in here. Final thoughts or words before we kick it off?
Excited to finish it up and get the playoffs. So next
I
time,
just want to. Well, go ahead.
next time on Wednesday, you guys will be seeing me play, and then you'll be calling me the guy and the griefer. So here we go.
Yeah, I was really surprised to hear that those guys had a lot of control over their calling, because that was really impressive what they were able to do with their mid game and late game. So just big props to those guys, and excited to see more league in the future.
For
All
sure.
right,
Shout
that'll
out
be
to the
it.
production really quickly though.
Yes,
Super. Should have been yesterday. I should have said that as well, but
yeah,
he's the
just
man
in the
behind the curtain.
background helping. We do appreciate that as well. That's just something, it's like a lineman job. You don't always see how much impact they have, but it does help to have someone in the back scene,
It is the cog in the wheel.
man behind the curtain, little Wizard of Oz
Yes.
action going on.
Yes. Very appreciated.
So,
But
all right. Well, hope everyone has a great night. We will see you again, and thanks again for stopping in.